So, most important trait in a founder.
I would say proven out adaptability. Yeah, if I love a founder that has either failed and their story of failure or success. Obviously, success is better than failure. But even if they failed, what did they learn from that experience to adapt to make sure that they don't do it again? How are they leveraging that and adapting from lessons learned into this new endeavor? Or if it's a first-time founder, tell me about a time that you learned from something and were able to pivot. Someone is so rigid and not coachable, they're not adaptable. It's pretty apparent in the first couple of conversations you have. So it's something that I always try to tease out.
And I love that because we tell our clients too, you have to be able to pivot, right? If
Yeah.
you, and the people, when you have a regime change at the administration level, the people that are nervous and anxiety about it are ones that, like you said, are very rigid and cannot pivot, right? They're going to have different goals, different views, different outcomes that they want to happen. And so you've got to be able to, we're not telling you to change the entirety of your product offering or service, but that you've got to be able to focus it towards, the right
Yep.
energy.
I would say co-founder mismatch is a big one, and early partner mismatch. So dating before marrying is important. How do you know these people? Are you able to work together? Have you worked together? Founders sometimes pair up because on paper they look good as a pair, and they think that's enough. But then one leaves because of an annoyance with the other, or there's just unaligned or misaligned goals. So that's, I think, probably the biggest barrier or problem that folks run into. And it is kind of a crapshoot because you never know somebody that you could have worked with for
Absolutely.
5 years in another company, and then you start a company with, you don't know what's going to come out. Which is another part why a reason why adaptability is important. You can adapt in your relationship with these people. Gosh, I'll say non-dilutive funding. I still come across so many founders that think VC is the be-all end-all. Not only non-dilutive funding, but project-based finance. There are debt
Mhm.
opportunities. There are people never want to tap into friends and family because they feel awkward doing so. But if folks believe in you, they're going to hopefully give you some cash or at least introduce you to folks. But don't get bogged down in this narrative that VC is the one thing that's going
And
to
not be all.
validate you.
Right.
There's so many other plays out there, and it's just shocking to me how many founders I speak with that don't know that they can go to for a life science company, the NIH, or state, local, regional. There's grants.gov. There's so many opportunities for you to get access to funding. I think
Uh,
energy is very, very interesting right now. Battery, solar is kind of in a weird place, but I still think that
yeah.
there are some interesting things happening there. Renewable, we're doubling down in kind of the old school oil and gas under the administration. Nuclear is coming back, but there's innovation in all of these spaces, right? And we have a huge at Holland and Knight, for example, we have a huge energy and natural resources team, and we're seeing so many cool plays from the early stage up until later stage mid market up to private equity. How these companies are engaging with the Department of Energy, with a variety of other actors, and it's cool. And at the end of the day, the world runs on energy, so it's hard to
Yeah,
hard to
totally.
avoid.
What does winning look like for a startup?
Winning looks like, at the end of the day, taking a look around the room, being proud and happy with what you've built, being surrounded by people you're happy you built it with, not only co-founders, employees, etc., but partners along the way. I'm part of a law firm, a good law firm partner, a good accounting firm, having good service providers, your customers, obviously. And when you're able to kind of take a step back as a founder, specifically, take it all in and be content, obviously with bumps along the way, but you're happy with the folks you did it with, then I think that's a huge indicator of success. That and, making everyone a ton of money, probably.